Hello everyone and welcome to Ferris Sports Update. I'm your host Rob Bentley and thanks for tuning in. On today's show we'll recap an exciting win for the Ferris State football team. We'll check in with Bulldog hockey after their game against Michigan and we'll update you on Ferris State women's soccer. We'll start though with Bulldog football, joined by assistant coach Sparky McEwen. And coach, first of all, welcome to the show.
Great to be back.
Great game this past weekend for the Bulldogs. You got back on track in a big way, 45-23 over Northern Michigan. Just talk about the performance on Saturday.
After a big loss, in the Grand Valley game the week before, when it comes to football after a loss, you can't wait to get back on the field. And we knew going in that this was a tough game for both, the Wildcats and the Bulldogs. And it was going to be one of those games where we felt like it was going to be a game of elimination, in regards to the chase for the tournament. So our guys played well, once again, in front of a nice crowd, and we got a lot of players to play, so it was an exciting day.
As we go to some of the highlights from the game, got off to a great start, able to run the ball all afternoon long, 436 yards on the ground.
Yes, going in, we wanted to establish the run game. This is something that we had a big meeting about. We wanted to get back to the basics, because we're in a situation right now where we have a quarterback, a young quarterback for us, but we went in, he made his reads, and we had a great night running the football.
Got off to a good start here on the opening drive of the ball game, and we'll see here shortly Reggie Bell get into the end zone. First of 4 touchdowns here, set up though by some good runs by the running backs.
Yeah, all the running backs got in the act here. We had some young kids play, and they're all stepping up, and we're starting to, hit that stride at the right time.
How important was it to get off to a great start here offensively and score on that first drive?
It was extremely tough because the week before we were in the red zone 8 times. We got turned back a few times, a couple missed field goals, and a couple times we just turned the ball over. So getting down there, running the ball, and getting in the end zone, that was one of the top priorities.
Penalties, the one maybe drawback of the day, a lot of penalties called on both teams here in the contest.
Yeah, it was a very heated game. Our guys are intense, and a lot of times when you're in a situation like that where you're playing fast, guys are intense, they're eager to get back on the field, you're going to have some of those silly penalties, but we're going to clean that up this week.
Northern Michigan cut it to a 4-point game, but right back come the Bulldogs. Reggie again into the end zone here, and you had a 14-3 lead here early on in the second quarter.
Yeah, Reggie's starting to get comfortable. You could tell in his reads and in his running ability here. He's starting to get comfortable with this offense, and that's going to be tough for the opposition here in the coming weeks.
Great run here as he takes this one to the house and got some great downfield blocking from some of your receivers and some of the running backs.
This is a big point in this game. We wanted to try to separate ourselves, and at this point, we went up 21-6, and that was because of great running by Reggie and some great blocking downfield.
A big play coming up here defensively on the defensive side, 4th and 1. Northern Michigan goes for it and able to hold them here.
You know what? The defense has been playing well all year. There's some spurts where we'll have some penalties to keep drives alive, but they showed up big here in this ball game. They only gave up a couple field goals, and obviously they scored late when the game was in hand.
Here at the end of the first half, you had 3 more points. Wyatt Ford with the field goal, and 3 important points as you took a 24-6 lead at halftime.
It was very important because those guys, if I recall, they turned the ball over to us there, gave us a short field. We were able to kick a field goal and go in at half.
Yeah, able to stretch the lead here early on in the third quarter. A couple big scores here in the third quarter to really put the game away.
Yeah, Shakur stepped up big for us, and then the running backs, obviously Jahan Brown had a big day, but obviously Reggie had the biggest day of them all, and that was by plan. Coach wanted to really get him going, get him in the game plan, and simplify some things for him, and he did a great job of coming through for us.
Reggie Bell, 154 yards. Jahan Brown, as we see Reggie take this one here, Jahan had over 100 yards, but some other running backs came on. Marvin Campbell, Robert Thomas had some big runs as well.
We've got some exciting open field type guys, with Reggie obviously getting the open field. If you give him a step, it's over. We got another young guy in Marvin. We've been waiting to roll him out, and he just kind of gives us another added dimension to our game.
Here, another big defensive play in the end zone as you're able to break up this pass, and the defense, for the most part, through 3 quarters, played very well.
Played very well. These guys that lead the GLIAC in interceptions, and our secondary has gotten a lot better of late. So we're excited about that in the coming weeks.
Bulldogs get the big win here as you start this final 5-game stretch with a win on all important games from here on out.
Everyone. Our guys know that we can't take a step back. Everything's important, every down, every play in practice, and these guys know, what's at stake here.
You got a big victory to start this 3-game homestand. This week you host Lake Erie. What do you know about the Storm coming in this weekend?
Lake Erie, I tell you what, it's a ball club that hasn't found the win column yet. But when you watch film on these guys, they have athletes running around, and just like any game, you got to show up to play. Okay, our guys, we're back to the fundamentals. We're not going to overlook this team because we know the importance of, when you go in, if you overlook someone, that can sneak up on you. Playing Ferris these days, where everyone's, big game. So our guys understand that we can't sleepwalk through this game. We got to go out, be intense, and just get after it.
Talk about the versatility here on the offensive side of the ball. As you're one of the offensive coaches, last week 350 yards passing against Grand Valley. This week Reggie Bell leading the ground attack and certainly able to mix it up here offensively.
It makes it tough on a defensive coordinator. The opposing team, you have to go in and say, hey, these guys are going to attack us with the pass, or they're going to attack us with the run. Are they going to get after us with Jahan Brown, Reggie Bell? And on the outside, you got Taylor and Sanders and Pollock and Lockett. So we've got some weapons here, but we're just now starting to put it all together, and it's just at the right time. So we've got 4 or 5 weeks here, remaining in this season, and each week, though, we've got to improve. We've got to continue to get better and just continue to take care of the ball as well.
We talked about the play, obviously, the running backs, the quarterback, the wide receivers. Talk about the offensive line and how they've improved over the course of the year.
Watching film this morning, the guys are gelling. We got some young guys up there playing for us right now. They're picking up their intensity, and it's amazing with this group here. Last year, Jason did a great job of orchestrating things that we need to take care of there, and now these guys as a whole, they're starting to gel, and this young line are starting to come together just at the right time for us.
You mentioned earlier on the fan support this past weekend, another great crowd at Top Tiger Field. Talk about how those fans have been there through 3 home games here and hoping for some more support here as we finish up the season.
Yeah, all 3 home games, our side has been full. We're excited about that. We've gotten great support here, and that's what winning does. We've won here. Coach Anise has done a great job of, winning here and winning championships, and the fans love it, and they're coming out. The student support has been just fantastic. It's always a buzz around campus. We've got a home stand now, so it's nice being home for the next couple weeks, and we're going to need this as we wind up the season.
Many of those fans in attendance, former players, former alums. We had a chance to talk before we came on camera here about one former alum, and Jake Lampman. Talk about how special that was to see him play for the New Orleans Saints this past weekend.
Yeah, it was pretty exciting. I got the call from Jake, and he told me he was going to be activated, and that's an honor for Ferris State University to have a guy playing at that level, the highest level that you can possibly play. And he was pretty excited about playing. It's funny because we talked more about the Bulldogs than we talked about him playing for the Saints. But he was pretty excited going into that ball game, and he made some plays, and now it's time for him to solidify his spot there. But we're all proud. We're all very proud of him.
Talk about how he improved. I know you had a chance to work with him over the last 4 years. Talk about how he improved here over the course of his time in the Bulldog program.
He makes it easy. He makes it easy. His work ethic, his work ethic and everything that he does here, whether it be in the community, he's done things here in this community, whether it be in the classroom, he's an outstanding, student. And then as far as an athlete, my guys, as you can imagine, the receivers understand that, hey, we got a guy from our position area that's playing in the NFL, so we're doing something right. And he set the standard with his tremendous work ethic. You
mentioned those receivers. Talk about how some of those guys have stepped up here, minus Jake Lampman this season, and how they've improved over the course of the year.
Well, they've all had some big shoes to fill with losing him, but of course Sanders, he's cut out of that same cloth as Jake. He comes to work every day. He plays hard. He gets after it, and then you start talking about young guys like Malik Taylor. He does a tremendous job. We're waiting for Kenny to get back healthy, because once we get Kenny back healthy, we're going to have a group of receivers that are sharp weapons. So he's improved that entire receiving core. When they go out and they block the way that they're capable of blocking, it just sets up our run game. And then after, obviously, if you can run the ball, obviously it's easy to go over the top.
Well, Coach, congratulations again on the victory, and best of luck against Lake Erie as the Bulldogs are at home again this Saturday.
Absolutely. Thank you.
We'll be back with more Ferris Sports Update right after this.